It's Tuesday stitch time. Grab your hook and yarn. We're making something cozy, cute and warm. New stitch, new trick, let's learn today. Easy steps, I'll guide the way. Whether you're new or stitching pro, come along, let's hook and go.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Pseudos Crochet More. This is your host Crystal. It is Tuesday, so that means it's stitch tutorial time. I'm hoping that you are all liking these stitch tutorials and showing you what they could work up like if you use the Premier Basic DK multi yarn. This is a relatively new yarn with Premier. This color is the lipstick color. Let me see, turn that light off. I might actually have too much light, I don't know. There we go, lipstick. This is the shell stitch, working it row by row. Now, you can use this stitch making garments and stuff. You just have to know how to where to increase your stitches at and everything. But I'm just going to go over the basics for the shell stitch. I am going to use this loops and threads yarn that I've used quite frequently here on the channel for the stitch tutorials. I'm hoping I'm picking out good colors. If it's a color you cannot see very well, please let me know in the comment section. I know I have black under me, so I'm trying not to use something too dark. So I'm trying to use brighter colors. I think Bear wants in. She always wants to be in here when I'm doing the video, so I'll be right back. Bear? No? Okay. I guess not. I thought she scratched at the door. She did not scratch at the door. Maybe so. Yep, there she comes. Alright, now Bear's in here. My little co-host is in here now. Alright, so this is a very easy 2-row repeat. It's a multiple of 6 plus 2. For this swatch, for this here, I chained up 26. I'm going to do the same chain on the yarn that I'm using here. I'm going to be using an 8mm crochet hook. It's the Nice Met hook that I got. I've really, every time I go work on something, I have to have this or a Susan Bates hook or an inline style hook. These are my preferred hooks right now. Who knows if that'll change over time, but this is my preferred hook. And it's probably because it's an inline and it's a really cool design. I don't know, but I really do like these hooks. I have linked them before from Amazon. You can check that out, unboxing from it. Now, if you click on the link and purchase anything, I will not get credit for it because I did lose my affiliate link for affiliate with Amazon, but you're still more than welcome to try them out. They have other designs too that you might be interested in. There's the one that Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches calls the Wand. It's the same style hook. It's just an inline, but instead of this design at the bottom, it's like a pearlized, it's more decorative, I guess you could say, but nevertheless, let's get on with the tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my yarn with a slip knot. Now, I like to do the little bow method, ribbon method. I put my tail under my working yarn. I put my hook through the opening, grab the yarn, and pull it up, and then tighten it. And don't make it too tight. Make it so you can still move it on your hook. Because if you can't move it on your hook, you're not going to be able to do your chains or get through the chains. Alright, so if you're following along, I'm going to chain up 26 for the swatch. And I'm going to see if I can turn on a little bit of light here. Okay. So that's, once you have that, you yarn over, pull through, that's one chain. Yarn over, pull through, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. So that is the multiple of 6 plus 2 for the 26. If you want to make it larger or smaller, that is fine. But I'm doing it this way so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So for the first row or foundation row, some people call this the foundation row. Some people call it the first row. I call it the first row. We're going to skip the first chain from the hook, so that's the one right below it, and into the second chain we're going to single crochet. So that's just insert the hook into the second chain, pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through both loops. You've made your first single crochet. Then we're going to skip 2 chains, so skip the next one, and into the third chain we're going to put 5 double crochets. So that's yarn over, insert your hook into that chain, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You've just made your first double crochet. Now you're going to do that 4 more times into the same chain space. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And do that until you have 5 double crochets in that same chain space. This is number 3. Number 4. And this will be the last one, number 5. Okay. And depending on what kind of yarn you're using, if it's splitty yarn, you'll have to be careful when you go through. All right, see that just... Okay, let me do that last one, because this yarn isn't very splitty, but it's very fuzzy, so it can pick up the fuzz and get it caught. All right, so there's your single crochet. You skipped your 2, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochet. Now we're going to skip the next 2 chains, 1, 2, and into that third chain we're going to single crochet. And that's just insert the hook, pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through both. And now we're going to repeat what we just did. We're going to skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and put 5 double crochets into the third chain. 1, 2, into the third. Now, if you want to, on the first row 1 or foundation row, it all depends on how the pattern is written. You can go through both loops, and it will make it easier if you do a border with this pattern. That's 2 to get into that bottom of that starting chain. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and that is the repeat all the way down. So now we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and into the next one, into that third one is going to be a single crochet. This is to anchor your shell stitch. And that's what it's called. Shell stitch, fan stitch. It's 5 double crochets into 1 chain or 1 stitch. Okay, then we're going to skip 1, 2, and into the third, another 5 double crochet. Let me get this yarn pulled here. Kind of annoying me. 1, 2, into the next one, 5 double crochets. And you can use the recommended hook size if you want for the yarn that you're using, or whatever hook that you like to use with that yarn size. 2, 3, and you can always go back to see how many double crochets or singles you've done. So this is the first loop for the first double crochet. That's 2 and that's 3. So we need 2 more. 4 and 5. Now we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and put a single. Skip 2, 1, 2, and put 5 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And sometimes it does turn, your work does turn while working this stitch, but that's okay. Then we're going to skip 2, 1, 2. Well, I messed up somewhere. 1, 2, into the third. Let's see here. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think I did that wrong. Okay, into the last stitch, we put 1 single crochet. So we're going to just put 1 single crochet here. Okay, to end the row. So that's the end of this row. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets and 1, 2, 3, 4 of the fan stitches or shell stitches, whatever you go by. So that's the end of row 1 or the foundation row. Now the next row starts the repeat row. So we just ended on a single crochet. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn our work. Now this chain 3 does count as your first double crochet. And into that same first stitch, we're going to put 2 more double crochet here. So yarn over, insert your hook into that first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2. So now you have 2 double crochet, because this does count as a double crochet. That's your second one. We need 1 more. So yarn over, insert your hook into that same first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. You have a half of a fan. So this here, now, since this is considered your first double crochet, if you're unsure of where the turning chain is or the top of the chain 3, make sure that you mark that stitch, because we will be going into that stitch when we come back on the next row. All right, so then after that, we skip the next 2 double crochet. So 1, 2, and into the third double crochet, middle middle of the fan stitch, we're going to put a single crochet here. So insert your hook underneath both loops, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. If it doesn't stick on you like mine just did, because it likes to do that from time to time. Okay, let's do that again. This might not have been the best yarn to use for this tutorial, but that's okay. And if you hear that whining in the background, that's Bear. Okay. And then we skip the next 2 double crochet. That's 1, 2. Now we're at the single crochet. We're going to put 5 double crochet into the single crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook under both loops, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do that 4 more times here. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And do that until you have all 5 double crochet here in the single crochet stitch from the previous row. 2, 4. I've got 1 more to do. And if I did not mention this beforehand, this is a reversible stitch, so it doesn't matter which side you use. If you're using it and you want to put a border on it, you just decide which side looks the best, and you can just put your border on that side. All right, and then once you have your 5th double crochet, so again, to count how many double crochet you have, the loop is behind the stitch. So this one here is your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The one on your hook does not count. And then we skip the next 2 double crochet. So we skip this one, and into the 3rd one, or the middle stitch of the shell, we will single crochet again. And then again, skip the next 2 double crochet and put a shell into the single crochet from the previous row. That's 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then once you have that one finished, we skip the next 2 double crochet, 1, 2, and insert into that middle double crochet or 3rd double crochet to single crochet. And then from there, we skip the next 2 and then shell into the single crochet from the previous row. That's 5 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and again, counting back here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you do it when you're on the opposite side, these are in front of your stitch, not behind your stitch. All right. And then we skip the next 2 double crochet. So skip, and into the next one we single crochet into the middle stitch of the 3rd double crochet or middle stitch of the shell. And I'm sorry, I've got a lot of hair apparently here. Some of it's part of the yarn, some of it's not. That's just life, you know. All right, now we skip the next 2 double crochet and into that very first single crochet, we're going to put 3 double crochets here. Just 3. So if you need to see where that's at, you can turn your work. So those are the doubles. This one here is your single. Make sure you grab both loops. Pull up a loop and do your 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now you will notice if you're using too small of a hook or if your tension's really tight, your shells are going to start popping out like mine are. See how that's popping out right there? That will happen, and that's not a problem. If you like that, you can keep going like that. If you don't like it, bump your hook size up 1 or 2 sizes, and it should start to level out for you. But I do kind of like that because it kind of it does like a little popping on there effect. All right, now we just ended this row with the 3 double crochet. So the next row we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and into that same first stitch we're going to place a single crochet. So insert your hook underneath both loops of the first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Well, yeah, that worked really good. Okay, try that again. All right, insert your hook underneath both loops, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. You've just made the first single crochet. Now, we're going to skip the next 2 stitches and into the single crochet from the previous row, 5 double crochet. So yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you'll do that 4 more times. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And this is the repeat all the way down to the end of the row. And I'll meet you there. I'm just going to keep going and talking, and that's 3, 4, and 5. And actually, let me mention this. After that first 5 double crochets, so you start with a single crochet, then you do a shell into the next single crochet, then skip the next 2 double crochet, 1, 2, and place a single crochet. And that ends the repeat for this row. So just keep doing shell, single crochet, shell, single crochet. If you're on a shell, it's a single crochet. If you're on a single crochet, it's a shell. So it's kind of a tongue twister there. So we skip the next 2 double crochet and then shell into the single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now this is a yarn eater, so if you're going to use this stitch with anything, make sure that you have enough of whatever you're going to use this with before you start the pattern, because you may not have enough, because you're doing 5 double crochets. And the single crochet doesn't take much, but the 5 double crochets definitely do. All right, then we do a single crochet. And that was my computer alerting me to a notification from work. Go away, work. Ugh. You're not supposed to be notifying me anything. All right, now we're at the single crochet, so that means we do a shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're at a shell, so that means we do a single crochet, skip the 2 double crochets, and into the 3rd double crochet, single crochet. Well, this yarn is really not being very nice with me today here. Ugh. I should really figure out what I want to make with this yarn. It says it's an eco-friendly yarn, but it is hand wash and lay flat to dry. So I might have to put it in my washer for like a delicate cycle or the activewear cycle, which is the one that does not spin at all. And then let it do its thing. All right. So now we're at the last single crochet. So we're doing 5 doubles to make the shell or fan, because this is known by several different names. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Need one more. 5. All right, now we're at the end of the row that has the chain 3 and the 2 regular double crochets. Now, if you did not use a stitch marker and you're trying to figure out where you should put that single crochet, you'll notice if you turn your work, you'll have the 2 V's here, which are going to be skipped. And then right after that, there's a really kind of tiny V right here. This is the top of your chain 3. So try to get your hook as best you can underneath both of those to do your last stitch, which is a single crochet. And that completes row 3. Now for row 4, you're going to repeat row 2. Row 5, row 3. So if you end with a single crochet, you start with a chain 3, which we just ended with a single crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. And again, if you're new to crochet or you don't have trouble finding your turning chain, mark the loop right below the one on the hook. And then turn your work. And then yarn over and put 2 more double crochet into this first chain. That's 1 and 2. That gives you the half of the fan stitch. Gives you the middle stitch and 2 extras. That's what this replicates. And then we skip the next 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and single crochet into the next. And then the next stitch, which is going to be a single crochet, gets a fan. So we skip the next 2 double, and into the next one is a fan, or 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I do like how this kind of pops out a little bit on either side with the fans. Now, if you like that, great. Again, if you do not, and you want it to be a little bit more flat, upsize your hook a little bit to make it a little bit more like drapey. If you like the look, great. So it's all up to you. You can design this however you want to. All right, now we're at the next shell. So skip the next 2 double crochet and single crochet into the middle stitch or 3rd double crochet of the fan. and then skip the next 2 double crochet and shell into the single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, and then we're at another shell, so we skip the next 2 double crochet and single into the next, single crochet into the next. Then skip the next 2 and then shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I've used up almost all the yarn that I have pulled out of this skein with just these few rows that we've done so far. So it is a yarn eater. So you'll want to make sure that you take that into consideration if you're designing something with this stitch, whether it's a blanket or a scarf, anything that you're not sure if you're going to have enough yarn for. Yeah, just be careful with it. I'm going to try to let you guys know that information going forward, if it's going to be a yarn eater or if it's not going to be that big of a yarn eater. I'm trying to untangle yarn here while you see my hook just sitting there. I'm never prepared for these. I should be more prepared, but I guess I'm better prepared now than I ever have been with them. So, all right. Now, since we just did a shell, we're going to skip the next 2 and into the next one, single crochet. And that's the last single. And then we're going to skip the next 2 double crochet. And the single crochet, we're going to put 3 double crochet into that one because it is the last stitch of the row. That's 1, 2, and 3. Now, the chain 1, when you start with a single crochet, does not count as anything. That does not count as a stitch. So on that one, you do go into just the single crochet, the top of the single crochet. But when it's a chain 3, like this next row, I'll do one more repeat with you. 2, 3. Again, if you're not sure how to find the chain, the top of the chain, mark this one here. Turn your work. And then do your 2 more double crochets. 1 and 2. And then skip 2. Actually, I just did that wrong. I just did that one. Okay. Well, we're a human. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. So we just ended the 3 double crochets. So we're going to start with a single crochet. So we chain 1. You do not have to mark that chain 1. That does not count as anything. And then once you turn into the very first stitch, you'll single crochet. And then into the next, after you skip 2 double crochet, shell into the next stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. and then skip the next two, 1, 2, single into the next, skip the next two, shell into the next, which is your single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Skip the next two, 1, 2, single into the next, skip the next two, shell into the single, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, let me set this down for a second. If you've ever used this stitch, let me know in the comment section what you've made with it. What yarn did you use? What was it? Was it a blanket? Was it a scarf? Was it a hat? Because you can use this for several different things. Was it for a washcloth, a towel? Let me know. I would really like to know what you guys make with these. And you can always post it on the Facebook group as well. I know I don't post enough in there, and I'm sorry about that. I was going to try to get back into getting into that, posting, whether it's stuff I'm working on, like sneak peek type things, seeing what you guys, are working on. But with everything that's going on in my house right now, it's kind of hard to keep up with that, because when I'm done working, I really just want to go and get away from my computer. And I kind of have a tablet, but I don't, because it's in my husband's email, not mine. So if I were to add anything to that, I would have to look up all my information for stuff. It's like, and because I was going to use my Kindle, and he's like, well, why? You've got my iPad. Yeah, but it's in his name, and I have to find all my passwords and usernames, and it's just, and being able to use it, because it's a big iPad. It's not a small one. It's not like, I kind of use it for my TV at night because I can't sleep without background noise. And it's got to be, I don't know why, he tries to listen to different tones to help sleep, to shut his mind off and stuff. And of course, I'm up most of the night because I just can't shut my system off. Because I've been thinking a lot about different patterns to do for you guys and trying to get them right, and then trying to think of how I would do a tutorial for it, if I would do a written pattern or let you guys, try to write your own pattern for it, because everybody writes them differently. I know that there's pretty much a standard of writing patterns, but until I get to that point, I don't think I will put any more written patterns out. I'm going to leave the ones that I have up on the merch site, the free ones, and the one that I have that's paid. Oh my gosh, why is this yarn doing this to me? It's like sticking. I've worked with similar style of this yarn, but it's not. This is worse. This is way worse. Okay, well, I'm just going to end it after this row anyway, so I'm just going to leave it now. I think I got enough pulled through that it shouldn't bother me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I just did the shell here. So skip 1, 2 into the third, single crochet. Skip 2, shell into the next one, which will be your single from the previous row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then our last stitch again is going to be in that top of that chain 3. So we're going to skip the next 2 double and into that top of the chain 3. You can look this way if you need to. This is the first double. That's the second double. And this little V right here is your top of your chain 3. And you'll do a single crochet here. And that's it. That's the repeat. You just keep repeating rows 2 and 3 until you have the size that you want, or if you're working in, the round, however big you want the project. Again, if you like how the shells kind of puff out a little bit, it's kind of cool. And how that does that, depending on which direction you're looking at. We ended on an even row. So this was row 1, this was row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. Actually, odd row. I should have known that. Odd row here, even row over here. So we did 4 rows on top of the first one to get you started. And again, it's always a good thing because I think I had 1 extra stitch. Either I missed something over here or something. I just fudged it right here. But you do want to make sure that you have the right stitch count. And then when you're done, make sure you have the right amount of stitches that are needed for that pattern. So again, let me know if this color works for you guys with the yarn. If you want me to use a different color altogether, because I am I'm using this black. This is actually a really big mouse pad. I like this mouse pad because then I can move my mouse wherever I want while I'm working. With a smaller mouse pad, it's kind of hard to keep it on one small piece. But yeah, so let me know what you guys, if you've used this pattern before, what you've made with it. If you want me to try a different color of yarn against this black, just so we don't keep seeing this blue color. I think it's teal, actually, something. It's peacock blue. It looks a little lighter on camera, it looks like, than in person. It's darker in person, but I think the light that I have brightens it up a little bit, so it's not as hard to see. Well, at least for me, it's not that hard to see, but I want you to make sure you guys can see it too. So yeah, let me know in the comment section. And if you are thinking about using this for anything in the future, let me know. I'm kind of working on a pattern that I had come into my head the other day with the shell stitch, but I have to get it worked out. It will be either in a scarf form or in a small baby blanket. I'm not sure just yet, but so my brain's been going a lot towards making different things, and I'm trying to use up some of my yarn that I have at my house. Because my husband's getting a little mad that I have so much yarn and it's not going anywhere. Well, it doesn't magically disappear. I have to have an idea for it. So, alright, if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content and haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe and then the notification bell so you're always aware of when I put out new content. Until next time, I hope you all stay safe, stay warm or cool, and happy crocheting. Bye-bye.